Hi all my beauties out there. Today I am doing a foundation tutorial. Is that right? A foundation tutorial. In a minute you're gonna see me with no makeup all on. I know, I look terrible, but I can't do my foundation with my makeup on, so I just sucked it up and did it. When I'm filming, when I do my makeup, it goes so much more smoothly than when I'm filming. It's like all of a sudden, everything I know about makeup goes out the window and I'm like, how do I do it? So, I'm not as stupid as I sound, if I do sound stupid. It's just, I was rushing this morning and I finally discovered the perfect foundation routine for me, the products, everything. And I kept just losing track of what I was doing. So I apologize. Any questions, just ask me. This foundation and routine isn't just for getting flawless skin, which we all always say in a foundation video, because obviously we all want flawless skin. Mine was more geared towards people that have oily skin, and yeah, that's pretty much how to keep your face from looking like you ran 10 miles in 120-degree weather, because that's what mine used to look like at the end of the day. And no matter how old I get, it still looks like that. So age does not play any role in why my face is still oily. So some of the products that I suggested are a little more expensive. However, I can tell you personally they worked for me. I hope they work for you. I don't want to recommend anything and then it not work out for you. So what I did was I did a lot of research before I spent $34 on a foundation, and to me it like killed me to spend that much. But then I had like 20 cheap foundations where I was spending $12 and they weren't giving me the results I wanted. So sometimes it's better just to save up a little extra more money and buy the more expensive product, because in the long run you might be spending more money buying the cheaper products, if that makes any sense to you. But yeah, we're just gonna get into it. Like I said, any questions? Right now, I'm not into using bronzer, so I didn't really use much in the video, just on my nose to contour it. But there's so many videos out there how to bronze. This was just a foundation routine, and I figured I'm going to do my whole face because I'm getting ready, so I put my blush on. So if you want to use bronzer, use bronzer. Like I said, there's plenty of videos out there to show you how to contour your face. This was just more towards keeping it from looking oily. But hopefully you guys like it, and subscribe. Just push the button above and subscribe, or you can always like my video as well. No dislikes though. I don't like those. But let's get into the video. Okay, well, obviously I have no makeup on right now. Yes, I don't like looking like this, but I cannot do my foundation when I have my eye makeup on. I don't know why. It's just habit, I guess. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to sanitize my hands. Normally I wash them, but I've been kind of walking around and I don't want to get up and wash them. So sanitize them. You want to make sure they're nice and clean. What I do before, this is only in the morning, I use some kind of mattifier of face wash. Clean and Clear has one, Estée Lauder has one, and it just kind of removes all the extra oil and kind of just makes it all matte. This is if you are really shiny. I tend to get pretty oily. I thought it was just in, you know, the T-spots or the T-zone, but no, that's not the case at all. Sorry, my lips are dry. So I'm going to start off with putting my moisturizer on. This is very important. You're going to want to use an oil-free. I just have Clean and Clear Dual Action Moisturizer. I'm going to try a different one because it's just, I'm prone to breakouts, obviously, as you can probably see all over my face here. But yeah, I need something that is a little more, you know, I want to start taking care of my skin. I don't want to get wrinkles. So I think I'm going to need to use something that's a little bit stronger, but that doesn't break out my face. So you want to just make sure you get it really good on your nose, on the sides of your nose. Yes, that's usually where you get shiny, but believe me, a little shine is so much better than when your foundation just looks all dry. So I put that on, and then next, now this is for oily skin. You could take these steps if you have great skin and you just want to see a foundation routine, but some of this isn't cheap, I do admit, but kind of if you want to prevent your face looking like you just ran a marathon, then you do have to take some extra steps. I have the Prep and Prime by MAC. It's just the, you know, for pores to keep, I don't know what it does. It pretty much mattifies your face. They have so many different kinds. Benefit has a really good one that I'd like to try, but this is working good. The only hard part, I used to put my foundation on with my hands. When I use this, it's a little hard because it just gets sticky in the areas I use it. So you just put a little bit. Ooh, that's way too much. That is way too much for, so I only put a little bit on, just like this part of, I guess, the T-zone, but the only reason I put it there is because that's where my pores are the largest. And then I put it on my nose. And this stuff will last you a long time. So pretty much just put it wherever you get really shiny. To me, the sides of the face aren't, you know, you don't have as many oil glands. Yeah, you might look really shiny, but I don't waste the product on the side of my face because you get more shiny in this area. Okay, and I don't waste it on my chin. You can if you want though. So after I apply that, I get my foundation brush, and I've used so many of them. This one is by Sigma. It's the F80 flat top synthetic. I used to just use my hands, like I said, but it's just, this works really well, and I don't have to, it feels like I don't have to use as much product. So the foundation I'm using today is Estée Lauder. I know all of you don't have the money to run out and get this expensive stuff. So if you can get either expensive foundation or a primer slash, you don't want to get a regular primer, you want one specifically for oily skin, and that will shrink pores. I'd recommend getting the primer over the foundation, but I've tried all the foundations, and this so far has been by far the best foundation for oily skin I've used, and it's Double Wear by Estee Lauder. It's Stay in Place Makeup. They have another one for really oily skin, but the girl said, and I have oily skin more than just the T-zone, she said that sometimes that can be too drying and it will just look like your face is really cakey. So I'm using this, and my color is, I don't know, 2 into Frisco 01. I don't know. But if you can't afford that, Revlon Color Stay, I use this forever. This is a really good makeup too. I just switched to this because I needed a little more coverage, but this is awesome. You can watch all over YouTube. Everyone agrees that this is really good if you have oily skin. So either one will do. You just want something specifically for oily skin. You know, I've tried MAC, I've tried kinds of foundations, and this has been my favorite. They gave me a little sample. I went to Macy's to buy it, and apparently they said wait, pre-buy it, and then you get all this crap if you come back and pick it up in a couple days. So I did, and she gave me a sample to last, and it's actually lasted over a week. So if you can't afford it, go to Estee Lauder and just ask for a sample. I've never been an Estee Lauder fan or really into their makeup, but their foundation is just phenomenal. Someone told me I should try it because of my skin, and I did. So this looks like a lot, but it really isn't. So I just put a little on my brush, and I just start kind of stippling it, but then I go through and just kind of circles around. I'm sure you've all seen how to do this on YouTube or on TV. There's no real science to it. You just want to get to where you get the right coverage. But this brush is pretty good and it's not very expensive. I had another one just like it from Everyday Minerals. It's a little shorter and a little cheaper. You could go on there and buy it. I think it was only like $10 there. This might be $15, $16. But these brushes work really well. And then, so, you just want to make sure you get all parts of the face. I always put a little more coverage on my cheeks and nose, not so much the nose, but more my cheeks. Just because I have more acne scarring and I have redness I'm trying to cover from my pimples that I still get at my age. Whoever said that you quit breaking out after you hit 20 lied to you. Some people might, but not all. And you want to make sure you blend down to your neck because you don't want a line. So now that I got makeup on my face, yay! So, okay. So now what I do is get my concealer. Any concealer will do. I use this one by, what is his name? Peter Thomas Roth. It's very expensive. I didn't know it was this expensive until I went to buy it, and I wasn't stepping out of line after they told me how much. So any will do, really. This is for under eyes, so you just want to make sure it's nothing thick because it will get cakey, and this is one place you don't want your makeup to cake. So I just dab it, and I try to kind of bring it down because the lighter it is under your eyes, they always tell you to do a triangle. It will lift your eyes. Those are just tricks when you start to either look older or you've stayed out all night and you look tired. So now with that, okay, so powder. I guess you can use whatever you prefer. I've been using so many. I tried MAC. I have this one by Cargo Blu-ray. It's not very good for the sun, but it is really good powder. But so far as controlling my oiliness, is this Beauty Control Perfect Wet Dry Finish. It's kind of like Mary Kay, you know, just a normal powder. Some reason this powder just works really, really well. Actually, I quit doing my powder right after I do my blush because I put powder on top of the blush and I don't want it to get, you don't want it to get cakey. That is one thing you just do not want. So today I'm going to use, I've been using a lot of peaches lately, and I think I'm going to go with that again. This is Cargo Key Largo. It is so pretty. It's perfect for this time. And now I use two different brushes, or you could use one of these two. This one is a Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35. F35, sorry. Or this one is just a BH Cosmetic. You can get it, it's in a set. I like this because it gives me exact precision, but this kind of helps, it doesn't blend out very much. So what I usually do is I'll take this and I'll just start over here. And this allows me, for some reason with brushes, I just cannot get exactly. I'll put it too high or too low. With this brush, it's just perfect. So I get a little color there. And you want to make sure the darkest is on the outside. And for some reason, my right cheek always tends to be a little different. So with that, I go in with this. Sometimes I just use one of the brushes and I just kind of blend it out. I'm not really into bronzer right now, so I'm not going to put in any on, but if you want to, go for it. I actually, the only place I'm really using bronzer right now is just on my nose, which I'll do in a second. So now with that, I go in. I either take this MAC brush, what did I do with the other brush? Or, believe it or not, this $3 e.l.f. brush is so awesome for putting powder on. This I usually just do for a light finish over my blush. Just go through and I just want to fade out the blush a little. I don't put any under my eyes. I'll show you what I set my foundation with. This foundation, everyone says you don't need powder to set it. I do though. Maybe everybody's not as oily as me, but I do. And so I go through, put my powder on, kind of blend out my blush. I don't want it too bright, and then I know I take way too many steps for this, but then I go back through and I kind of just, what was left on the brush, kind of go back over it. Okay, and now I take just this, what is it, Physicians, am I pronouncing that right? It's just a mineral wear, tack free. It's like a translucent powder. I put that underneath my eyes because it's a little brighter, and I just do a little bit, and I set my foundation with that, or my concealer with that. I do this because I want it brighter than the rest of my makeup, because I want it to stay a little bit lighter underneath my eyes. I don't obviously want a dramatic difference, just a slight difference. Alright, and then lastly I go in with my bronzer, and I take just a little brush like this. This is Everyday Minerals, and I just kind of contour my nose. And the reason, this is not the brush I use. Maybe it is the brush I use. Thought it was smaller than that. The reason I do this is because I have a large nose. So I just want it to look a little smaller. They always say put it at the tip, and I blend about halfway up. And then if you want a highlight, I'm not really much for highlights because I'm so shiny. And a lot of times my whatchamacallit, my blush already has shimmer in it, so I don't really need much. But I'll take, this is by Urban Decay, it's a cream. I dab it on because it seems to leave a streak if you just go straight from the pan to your face. So I dab it on my hand, put a little down my nose, and a little above my lip. I don't really need it on there because I'll be shiny throughout the day, and like I said, the blush has it. So that is the routine. What I definitely recommend during the day using is blotting papers. Yes, it will remove a little bit of your makeup. Everybody always says, oh no, it doesn't remove any of your makeup. Yes, it does. I see it all over the paper. But it is better to do this because it will remove the oil, and you could just put a little bit more powder if you need it, versus keep putting powder all over your face. By the end of the day, you just look like you have the cakiest, grossest, oily face. So get some blotting papers. This is my routine, and I found that I've used so many different methods, and this has been by far the best. I don't know if it's these specific products or what, but I am actually not shiny through the day. Yes, I start to sweat, and towards the 4 o'clock when it's 110 degrees outside, I will look oily, but seriously, if you do these papers, they just remove a lot of the oil. Now, I do live in California. I don't live in Southern California, so it's not like I have beautiful weather. We get really hot, dry weather here. So I don't know how this would hold up if you live in like Florida or somewhere where it's really humid, because I've never been where it's really humid. I've had people tell me just to apply a lot of primer. And it's not regular primer, because believe me, if you're oily and you put just any primer on you, you will be super shiny and your makeup will look gross, because I've tried a ton of them. You want one specifically to shrink pores or for oil control, not just any regular primer. So yeah, yeah. Hopefully this was helpful. Yes, I'm leaving you with no makeup, and I'm going to start it with makeup because I'm going to introduce my foundation routine. But if you have any requests, just email me, ask me. I haven't had as much time to do videos lately, but I'm trying, so I miss everybody out there. Please subscribe. It's S Blondiful. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.